Hi, I'm Arsham, and this series of videos about computer science and game development are sponsored by Kitakode. I've started taking a course called CS50 made by Harvard, which gives you all the knowledge you need for computer science and game development. And this series of videos are summarized versions of that course. Feel free to check it out for yourself. Now on to the video. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to dynamically allocate memory in programming, so let's get started. In the previous video, we went over pointers, so I recommend you watch that video because we will be using pointers in this video as well. So in C normally, when you want to allocate memory, you need to give a set amount of bytes that it would take up, which is the example I gave in the previous video. But that example was about static memory allocation. What if we don't know how much memory we want to allocate? So far, we've been using a block of memory called the stack, which does anything in your program that you give a name to, like variables. We use the stack when you want something static that probably won't change at all. But now if we want to dynamically change something in our program, we would need to allocate the memory from the heap. And the heap is basically a giant pool of memory that can be used. So here's a visual representation of memory. So as you can see, the heap and the stack of memory pools are in the same general area. But the difference is that the stack would be arranged from bottom to top, and the heap would be arranged from top to bottom. Here's a fun fact. There's a website called Stack Overflow, which is basically a forum for any programming related questions. And the name Stack Overflow is kind of what we're talking about. So when there's too much information in a stack memory pool, it overflows, hence the name Stack Overflow. Now we want to see how to dynamically allocate memory in C. Well, the good thing is that you can import this library into your program and you can use a function called Malloc to allocate memory. Malloc does take in a parameter, which is the number of bytes that you would like to allocate. For example, if you want to free enough memory for an int, you would need to write malloc, open brackets, for, close bracket. So an example that I can give is something like this. So we have an int called num, and we want it to be a pointer, so int star num equals malloc 4. Or instead of 4, we can use size of int, which would return the number of bytes that specific data type would take up. But there are also things that you should be aware of while using dynamically allocated memory. So when you allocate memory, you should have to free the memory afterwards as well, right? Well, for dynamically allocated memory, it's not the case. It doesn't automatically free the space where it allocated. This could cause some issues in terms of a memory leak. So you have to keep in mind whenever you're done with a block of memory, you would always need to free that block using the standard library function called free. So there are a few rules that you should follow. One of the rules is that every block of memory you malloc, you have to free as well, but only if you allocated it using the malloc function. And another important thing is that you cannot free memory more than once. Alright, so this is the end of the video. Hopefully you understand a bit about dynamic memory allocation, what it does and how it works. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and also subscribe and hit the bell icon, because it makes you notified every time I upload videos like this. Thank you for watching and bye bye.